Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a criminal. She's a fornicator. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. She's an abuser because what she did to Nick was abuse. And for some reason, it seems like there are a lot of creators that are in this more for the drama than to actually see any justice play itself out. A lot of times you see a lot of creators talking about me or saying stuff, and I don't respond. And the reason why I don't respond is because my end game here is not to go back and forth with creators. I could care less. The end goal at the end of the day is to get some form of justice for Nicholas GODEJOHN and justice for Dee Dee. Of course, Dee Dee will never come back, but to get her some sort of justice, I just feel like will make a difference. Now, as far as Nicholas GODEJOHN, I feel like there needs to be things in place that people cannot abuse people with disabilities to get what they want done. And then pin it on them, and they're sitting there for the rest of their lives, still lost in a sauce, and thinking it was love. The fact that Gypsy is still continually making Nicholas GODEJOHN feel like she loved him, she cared about him, he mattered, and she didn't, is disturbing, to say the very least. And I think a lot of people don't see that. And that's where the issue is for me. And at the end of the day, life moves on, but if you don't know anyone affected by this or could be affected by this, it might not bother you. But there are people that have kids that could be affected by something like this if Gypsy gets away with it. Aunts, uncles, brothers, nieces, nephews, people that they really care about, and it matters. They matter, period. Because what she did to him is abuse, and what she's doing currently to him is still abuse, because she's still communicating with him, still manipulating him, and still doing all those things. Furthermore, people go to have a peaceful protest and a vigil for Dee Dee. And the people that are trying to get justice for her own mother, her and her friend, are intentionally trying to have arrested. And they actually state this in a video. The criminal, the woman who unalived her mom, used a man with a disability that was collecting a permanent disability check, woman that married a man to use him to get out on parole. She cheated on him, left him, got with another man, still gaslighted him, used this man and trapped him. Now he's sitting there with like a deer caught in the headlights with a kid, by a woman that unalived her mom, and is still manipulating the husband, the ex-husband now. Like, if we don't see that as a problem, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Because if this could happen to Ryan Anderson and Ken, now granted they wrote to a woman in prison, and I know that's a little off to begin with, okay? So I'm not disputing that. But if they could fall victim of her stuff, just imagine the number that she did on Nicholas GODEJOHN. Disturbing at the very least. It is. Period. No matter how you want to look at it, this is disturbing. And out of all of that, Bree and Gypsy play victim. I just think that's so absurd, and I can't wrap my mind around that. And I've never wanted to be a victim, ever. I've always wanted to be a survivor. I never wanted to say, you know, I'm a victim of somebody's stuff or a victim of X, Y, and Z. I've always wanted to survive something. And the fact that they pander to being a victim is absolutely absurd to me. I cannot wrap my mind around this whole situation. I can't. I'm trying to, I can't. Anyway, Pink Pony Club, they really wanted her to get arrested, and that bothers me. Because this woman got on a plane, flew somewhere, obviously New Orleans, for justice. And for them to go out of their way to try to have her arrested shows you how wicked and evil these people are. But one thing I'll say, Pink Pony Club, is God was looking out for you, because no matter what, he made sure you were good. And that's because your heart was in the right place, which is why you ended up getting home safely. And which is why these people are probably going to have to pay you a pretty penny, including lifetime. I don't know what to say, y'all, but this has been weighing on me today, and I just feel like it's crazy. You, Miss Ma'am, are the problem. This woman used a man that has autism and a low IQ that was collecting a permanent disability check and manipulated him for over 2.5 years. It's not about basing your life around him or her or whatever you want to call her. It's about the fact that if we let this slide, this can be what people start doing, is using people with special needs. Now, you may not have special needs. Your kids may not have special needs, or someone you know may not have special needs. But if it was someone you know, as in, say you have a child 10 years from now, and 20 years from then, someone does the same thing to your child, you'd feel differently. Because it's not affecting you directly, you don't care. But what's done to someone else can be done to someone you know or you too. So when you are speaking on something to bring awareness, to get justice, it's not just about you. You don't have to be self-centered all the time. It doesn't have to be basing your life around someone. You know, videos just take a couple of minutes, right? I need you to use your thinking cap here. You get in these comments, you say silly stuff like this. That shows that you're not actually using your head, and you're only self-centered and thinking about yourself, which is why you see this as a problem. But you are the problem. You are the reason why people like her do what she does, because there's a lot of people that don't care because it doesn't affect them.